Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rewind. Good to see you online. It's been a crazy, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks of quarantine. I feel like I've been actually very busy with work and then also with projects around the house. Am I the only person who is like, okay, time for the great reorganization of all of my games again? Hey, there's Karen, Jobby, hello. Thanks for joining the Rewind. I know it's a little late, but I was just like, I'm gonna do it this week. I haven't played that many games over the last several weeks, but I am doing the Rewind this week. Hey, James. So thanks, guys, for being here, and thanks for tuning in so late with me. So, yeah, so we haven't been playing as many games as I thought I would be even with all the online options, right? So there's just been a lot from work going on, and then schedules not meeting up with the folks that I do want to play online with. And I don't know, I really want to, I'm one of the biggest proponents around here in my house and everything for like being very careful and cautious, but I'm ready to get back to the table with some people. I just really am. I miss gaming in person, oddly, for an introvert. Just a strange difference in how I like, I really want to be around people all of a sudden. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, hey, Andrew is in the comments. What's up, buddy? Andrew is a good example of one of my local gaming friends I have not seen in forever. It's been really, really weird. But not getting the table with Jeremy and David and Ryan is also strange. And so we've been having some interesting, if you've been watching any of our chit chats, you've been seeing we've been having some interesting like play sessions with learning games that we've been doing for previews, with just playing games together as a group, whatever the case might be. So let's see. We got a couple of comments here, so I'm going to go to the comments really quick. Karen misses gaming in person too. Andrew says it's been 84 years, give or take, since we've gamed together. So James asks, have you been playing any video games, if less board games? So I haven't. The guys have been. Everybody around me seems to be really heavy into video games. I think the only video game I've been dabbling in is Animal Crossing, simply because I can pick it up for 5 minutes and, do something silly on there for a few minutes and then bounce back to real life or whatever the case might be. I really do want to get my PlayStation out. I did get The Rise of Skywalker for Christmas and I haven't played it yet. So I'm thinking about hooking that back up and playing through that here before too long. So, it's one of those things, video games or maybe just deflate, because I've been spending a lot of time working. So just kind of want to get away from some of the screens too, which is the other problem with gaming online, is that I'm back to being in front of a screen. So what do we do? What do we do with all these screens? So I do love, though, that I've been able to do so much. And so I said adventure abounds because I've been playing a lot of games that have adventure-y kind of vibes or themes to them. Let's see. Andrew says that Andrew has the most incredible Animal Crossing village island I've ever seen. It's quite well structured. It's you should have been a city planner, man. But Animal Crossing. Anyway, so James asks if my husband and I play any Dice Throne, and we haven't actually. Again, our schedules haven't really lined up incredibly well, and he hasn't really been in the mood for board games, which has made it hard. I borrowed a few from different people, so I could think of a few that maybe he would play. And I did get him to play a couple I had to do for preview purposes with me. Well, one specifically today, which was Tiny Ninjas. So let me see if I can pull that up here and show you guys some pictures of this. So this is one that Ryan and I did a live stream of this a while back, and anyway, it's Tiny Ninjas Heroes, and he actually really liked it. So he tends to like some of those lighter games, nothing too heavy. So I need to see what we've got that I can break out a little bit more like that doesn't feel like it takes up so much bandwidth, because, and I feel like I'm hearing that from a lot of people, is they're going back to some of their more their lightweight, family weight games and breaking them out to the table. So let's see what people are saying in the comments about that. Let's see here. Who do we have? Let's see. Oh no. He said if I was talking with the pictures up, you can't hear me. That's too bad. I didn't realize that. I thought I had it tested where you could hear me with the pictures going, so I apologize for that. So anyway, well, I won't show too many more then. Anyway, so we were playing Tiny Ninjas Heroes, and it was pretty good. You have this cool stuff where you're moving the dice around. Preview coming, you'll hear more about it. So other things that we've been playing, so Jeremy and I played on Tabletop Simulator the other night, Seven Wonders Duel with Pantheon, I think is what it's called, the expansion that came with it. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna put pictures right now, because I wasn't 100% sure you could hear me, something Andrew said in the comments there. So yeah, we played that, and I haven't played it in a really long time, and he of course beat me. I was focusing too hard on one thing, and then it just kind of became, I'm always like kind of laser focused on military when I play that, because it's always been a while in between and I'm learning it back up again, and military is just like an easy thing to keep your mind on. Hey John in the comments, Shane's here as well. So it was just really well done, and it has a scoring thing. You can hit score and it puts it all up on the pad for you and scores the game for you. But obviously, if you do it on score, that's if you've made it to the end and none of the end game triggers have happened, which is somebody gets all their military or somebody collects all the different scientific things, the green cards. So then we went and played Watergate, which I had downloaded and had wanted to check out. I really love Watergate, and the TTS one that I found was incredibly well done. Here, I'll just show a picture and I'll talk very little just in case you have trouble hearing me. And it's just like it should be, right? There's a couple little clunky things, like it took me a second to figure out. There wasn't an instruction in there, or I missed where the instruction was, but I couldn't figure out how to look at the tiles without him seeing the tiles. Of course, I was Nixon. And horrible, horrible defeat on top of it. Let me see if I can pull that back up, actually. Them the whole game, which was awful. So, oh, I see what's going on there. I don't know why it's turning off my audio when I go to the pictures. That's weird. It should work now, though. I have it fixed. So anyway, so Jeremy, of course, took away all my advantage with the momentum, which is what I was counting on. And then also sped around and put plenty of evidence out there, even though I was getting plenty redacted evidence out there. And that was kind of frustrating. But alas, that's what it is. So I think I messed up on Tiny Ninjas a little bit, so I want to go back to that one and let you guys see a little bit more of that, because it's a really cool little game. Let's see if I can get some good pictures up here to show you of it. So if you couldn't hear me when the pictures were up, I was saying you have all these different ninjas, and they're represented by dice that they tick down on their health, and you're going to be moving them around the board. Let me just put that up here. So that's what the board looks like. It's a little grid, and the dice are the different characters, and then based on their location and movement, you have shields and all kinds of interesting stuff that are going to, ultimately win you the game. And the goal is to get the hero out. So that's the white die that you saw on the screen. So the rest of them are just support. You can lose them, but that doesn't lose you the game. What loses your game is losing the hero itself. And so pretty interesting. And I like the way this little die that's on screen right now changes how things are done. So anyway, let's see. Thank you for confirming the audio is good on the pics, guys. So let's see. What else did we play? So we've had some other interesting games. So we, as a group, played, was it called Feed the Kraken? It had to be called Feed the Kraken. Yes, Feed the Kraken from Fun Tales. And it's a party game. So this is one where we are, it's a social deduction party game, which are not my favorite. And it's not like it was loaded to TTS. So we had the team at Fun Tales and the designers were playing it with us over Google Hangouts. And we had one person running the game on the board down in front of us. Now, Jeremy has a copy of the game at the studio, so he's taken some pictures. It's a beautiful looking game, and it was quite fun, even though I'm not the biggest social deduction game person. We had a lot of fun playing it as a group. The designers came in full pirate garb, which was adorable, and were very persuasive that they weren't actually pirates, even though they were clearly dressed as pirates and were pirates the whole time. Now, I accidentally won the game. I was the cultist. I was pretty sure I was the cultist, but I kind of forgot in the teach and all the things going on what they showed me my token was and what the distribution of those tokens were. And I kind of was like, am I the cultist? So I've got to kind of be on the side of the pirates for a little bit, but I also don't want anyone to think I'm a pirate. And then I kind of want to be thrown overboard to the Kraken, because then that's good for me too. All these different conditions for me that had to line up, and somehow I managed to accidentally win the game. And it really came down to the fact that Jeremy was sure I was the cultist. People were questioning if he was, because he was so adamantly saying it was me. But it got to the point where it was, all right, we have to get Kira to win, the cultist to win, so that the pirates don't win. And so they kind of helped me get to a point. But no matter what happened, it was either me or the pirates at that point, and I was the next one up. And so I was able to secure my victory, which was fabulous. So that was that. So let's see what's happening in the comments, folks. Trismegistus, John, whew, that one melted my brain, man. Now, granted, I played it late in the evening, like early evening of Gen Con. Late in the early evening? I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 o'clock when we started the teach. So the time you get done playing a game like that, after a long day at Gen Con with the teach, it melted my brain. But it was really neat. I liked what that game was doing. Let's see here. What else we got? Yeah, the dice for tiny ninjas, which I cannot stop trying to say epic in there. I'm not kidding. It's been hilarious. It's tiny something. You want to throw epic in there because it's me. But anyway, the dice are great. And I believe they're going to be marbled in the Kickstarter like that right off the bat. That's not like an upgrade or anything. Oh, Mysterium is probably pretty fun. Is it now? Karen says she's been playing Mysterium. So Mysterium in person with your family, or is this Mysterium on Tabletop Simulator is the question. I'd be interested in playing a game like that on TTS. And I'm curious how it would work, right? So in the same way that I was curious about how Feed the Kraken would work. Let's see here. Another game that I played, I saw at Essen. Jeremy and I saw it and played it at Essen as well, but then kind of been just waiting to hear more about it, and it showed up, and I got to do a preview for it, and that is Ella and Something Shiny, which is just an adorably beautiful storybook game where you've got these little comic books that give you a little story, and then it's going to give you your game setup and your goal for the game and your little rabbit, and you've got, like, over the course of 7 days to choose your little adventure. And you see on these cards there's like a white to the right, and then there's a yellow to the left type arrow on the choices. If that says that, the card goes away forever. If it has the white for the choices, it goes to the right. Now, not all cards go away or even have the option to go away. It's just more about the choices that you're making throughout the game. and how they are going to impact your efforts to get to the goal. And you have to expend energy, and there's like baddies in the woods you have to avoid, and storms and things, and it's quite sweet. It is a solo player game, and but it could easily be played as a family. Like, oh, what should we do? And it's for 7 and up, but I enjoyed it thoroughly as an adult, and I enjoyed playing through it again, and I'm looking forward to giving a little bit more coverage on that. So let's see. Have we played any more of Tekenyu? Not yet. I haven't. David has. I would love to play it again. I enjoyed that game so much. I do know that we have the ability to play it again, so we absolutely should definitely be playing it again. Another game I was able to play on, let's see, I don't think I've got any more like specifically exciting pictures for today, but we played Death May Die. So David and Jeremy and I played Death May Die on TTS, which was a lot of fun and pretty hard. And again, I'm getting used to the TTS stuff. So those of you who don't know what TTS is, as I keep saying it over and over, is Tabletop Simulator, which is exactly that. It simulates a tabletop game on your computer as best as it can. There's another one called Tabletopia, and it's all about how much programming's gone into it. And there's some really slick ones out there. And this we played Cartographers the week before. Death May Die is really nice, and especially because some of these are scripted to do setup for you, which makes the whole thing significantly easier to dive into. Because I have trouble with the controls, like I just do. It's embarrassing, but if you watch our dice, we did play Dice Throne on TTS on Wednesday. Ryan and I did, and I was in control of the camera part of it, and I was apologizing a lot because I keep grabbing the whole screen instead of just the one thing I want or something silly like that. Now, the more you do it, the more you get used to it, but it's kind of becoming second nature, so I feel a little bit like an old lady there. So anyhow, so Dice Throne is incredibly slick. So if you have Tabletop Simulator, it is free if you have Tabletop Simulator. Tabletop Simulator is like anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks, I think, depending and then you just have it on Steam. Then there's Tabletopia. Tabletopia is, I believe, free to have, and then certain games cost. And there is a lighter version of Dice Throne over there that's just a 2-hero set. So, but over on Tabletop Simulator, there's a 6-hero set, including the new Ninja, who is awesome. However, I did play as a Shadow Thief because we hadn't played in a while, and I wanted to be as familiar with the game as I could be so that when I played very well. Let's see, comments really quick. Let's see. Favorite Marvel Champions, hero and villain to play. I haven't found my favorite combination yet. Keep getting our butts kicked, and I'm having trouble getting my husband to want to play it again. Honestly, it's kind of what turned him off about Arkham as well. So I may have to solo it. Now's the time, right? So there's that, or I can get some people to play with on TTS with me. Andrew says that TTS can be a pain. Yeah, I like it for games with few components as well. It makes it a lot easier. Yes, and of course, Dean, throwing real dice is a lot more fun. Absolutely agree. But it's nice that we have the option, right? And so speaking of slick, a lot of things, and somebody brought up Tekenyu, and we have played Ankh, and we were being able to see games or playtest games for like our clients, for MvM, for my clients, for my job. We're able to get online and see the game for the first time. So I was able to, my team, for my job, and I all got on with one of our clients and was able to see an early prototype of a game, and so we can start looking at how we want to market the game. And really, we get to have a feel for the game without having it in front of us. We got to see Tekenyu. We got to see a few other ones. I got to play test Dice Throne Adventures on TTS. Now, obviously, they're wrapping up things there, so it's a private playtesting thing for their normal playtest groups and their internal folks. and I do work with Roxley on Dice Throne and some other projects as well. And so I am very lucky to have access to that, and I got to start a campaign as just to get the latest on what it is and how it looks, and to kind of give my feedback and everything, which was wonderful. And so now I'm ready to start I did that, it was like a 2 scenario campaign just to get the new way of doing things. So I wasn't confused by the previous rules, right? So we played it a long time ago, and some things have changed. If you've been following the Kickstarter, I recommend going there for all the details. But I'm like, hey guys, David, Jeremy, Ryan, do you guys want to start a campaign maybe, and we can play test together? Because it would be a lot of fun. Of course, I got to figure out if they're, it's a campaign. It's a campaign game. This is a dungeon crawl. So I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, I don't know that I want to go all the way through it with them in that situation, because I'm excited to get the physical copy, so I might solo it. I haven't decided yet. But I am super, super excited. I haven't played I've played the New Age a few chapters in because of the live stream and things like that for Aeons in the New Age, but I have not played through all of it yet, no. I'm trying to think about what else. So we did the whole Dice Throne thing. We did Death May Die. Seven Wonders Duel was great. Watergate was great. What else have we been playing? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But then there's Animal Crossing. So much Animal Crossing. I'm like almost embarrassed that I've even played as much as I have, until I see I'm really not playing it as much as some people do. And it's nice that it's some really cool things are coming out of it, right? I'm seeing a lot of really neat artistic things happening and people just having fun with it, and it really being a nice escape from everything. And everybody's got their masks on when they visit each other's islands because COVID has gone digital. But I just like it. It's very cute. Of course, my character's wearing a mask. I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't, as soon as I get one, put one on too, because it's, totally the trend right now, especially there. So, pretty silly, I know, but so what's on the horizon? What are the games coming up that we want to play? What are the games coming up that you want to play? So I was super impressed with Watergate and Seven Wonders Duel on TTS, so I'm considering suggesting one of those two to Ryan for the Wednesday live stream this week. I think it would be a lot of fun to play and to watch. I really, really am impressed at some of the builds on some of these games. Let's see, what do we have in the comments right now? Season 2 Dice Throne during quarantine, playing those are fun. Roll and Writes are good too. I'm actually been excited for one that hasn't come out yet, and I'm hoping that it gets here soon, and that is the English version of Ganon Kanon, which is Divi Dice. Stronghold will be doing that one. I really like that. Jeremy's got a copy of it, and we played it at IndieCon right before the quarantine stuff started, and boy, I liked it. And it's one of those that keeps coming back into my head that I'd like to play again very soon. I've also got Glenmore 2 on my mind. I've been wanting to play it. I know it's on TTS. I was thinking about playing it there. I've got my beautiful copy here. I really want to get played. So, but I've been looking at the game collection a lot, because we went through and we've been kind of reorganizing the house. So I redid my whole space in here, which is just my big, huge, not really, my office studio, if you will, that was my daughter's room that I remodeled when she moved out and out onto her own. And I thought, I really want to get the games under control. I've got so many. And Jeremy had done this really cool thing where he posted on his neighborhood stuff that he had games that he could give to the neighbors. So all the muggles, if you will, around that don't have access to the games that we have, or maybe even the kinds of games that we would normally play, because we get a lot of those. And I've gotten a lot of those because I like to take my games to muggles and introduce them to games that will then bring them into other games, right? So taking a game I know everybody likes Cards Against Humanity and stuff like that, But I'm talking about like Take a Coup along with you, or Just One, or Medium, like just a game like that that you can take to your non-gamer families, or even allow them to borrow during these times. Those are really good. So I went through my whole collection. I took everything off the shelves. The house was an absolute wreck. I'd show you pictures, except that's just too embarrassing. And I organized everything into piles. Like, what are some of these things that are client games that I not only love, but also need to have for work reasons? Then what are those games that I want to keep that maybe I don't need anymore for work reasons, but I just really like them? But they're all in that kind of bucket, right? And then I have the games that I've just gotten for myself over the years. And then I have all the ones that are amongst those that have never even been opened, or I haven't had a chance to get to them yet. What am I going to do with all these? So I organized everything like that, decided what I had to keep, and then what I wanted to keep, and then what I was willing to part with potentially. And I say that because I really do like keeping all of my games, but I don't play a lot of them. And I mostly keep a lot of those games for exactly what I said, taking them to a family member or a friend that I meet along the way that isn't a gamer and saying, here's a game I think you might like. Take them with me when I go to Arizona and visit my aunt, and I leave some there, and other friends that I have when I'm out there. And then around here as well, there's Books and Brews. I've donated games to them and to Teachers Treasures, because being able to give those games back in some way is really nice. So now I decided to adopt Jeremy's idea, and I put some nice tubs out front of my house with all of the games that kind of fit that category of, you don't have to be a hobby gamer to play these, but you might have not heard of them before because you're not a hobby gamer. Who knows? I put all those in a bucket outside, and I put a post out to the city and to the next door neighborhood thing, and then also to the City Fishers Facebook group here in Indiana. And I had a really good response. People are coming and they're taking the games. Now it's a library, but I clearly stated that if you like the game that you pick up from the library, you're more than welcome to keep it. With the hopes that people were going to come bring some back maybe, or come back another time and switch them out if they didn't, if they got bored with it, whatever the case might be. And so far, a lot of the games have just stayed out, which is really cool. And again, like I said, I had to be willing to part with them because that's potentially going to happen. And I would rather those games have a new home than just continue to sit on my shelf and not maybe be played once a year, if at all. And so I was really, really excited to see that amount of response. Of course, there's always a few people that take advantage. Shame. and it happens. And you just have to deal with it. But it's been really nice to put those out there. And so then anybody that's doing delivery, so if we DoorDash, we'll be like, oh, and by the way, there's games outside. Feel free to take one, which has been really, really fun. And also just a nice way to kind of call the collection. And then if they come back to me and they stay in the library, then somebody else might get to play them. And then when it's all said and done and the library either may stay open forever or it closes, then I'll donate them to like Teachers Treasures or something again. But it's really nice to see that. And there's people even who brought games and put them in the library, which was awesome. So they brought their own games and put them in the library and then took some games with them. And that was just a really nice, I don't know, it's really cool. And so I've been really nice looking at the community, and that I can trust people to come up to the house and just take stuff and go back and forth. So anyway, curious what everybody else is doing out there to like help out with their collection. I think you have family members who are suddenly bored and you're like, here, have a game. So let's see what's happening in the comments here. Isle of Cats. So I'm the only person who hasn't played it on the team, I think. I can't say anything about it. I have to say I'm not like the biggest on I don't know, tile laying games as a general rule, but I'm finding there's a few that I have been enjoying lately. So it's a very cool looking game and I want to try it out. I saw it at Origins and I thought it was really neat, and I really love all the unique cat art about it, but I haven't actually played it. So Let's see. All right. Well, guys, I think that pretty much does it for tonight. It is getting pretty late, and I know I started this one late for everybody, but I know I've got a couple people here talking about our Discord channel. So if you're not familiar with our Discord channel, the link is in the description of this video. Love for you guys to join. It's another place for you to come chat with us about games. We talk about video games there. We talk about board games. We talk about our pets. We have a bunch of different channels. You can join and mute the different ones accordingly that fit your fancy, and we hope to see you online. And if you have any feelings on which game you'd like to see Ryan and I play on the Wednesday live stream, let us know. Join in the Discord. We have an MvM live channel, and let us know what you'd like to see. I'm really leaning towards Watergate or Seven Wonders Duel just because it was a really slick interface. So, all right, guys. Hope you are all staying